Bali has been voted the world's happiest holiday destination. Join us on a 16-day journey to discover why. Is it the natural beauty, or the outdoor activities and adventure, or perhaps the cultural experiences, or maybe the culinary delights? Let's find the answer together as we travel across Nusa Penida, Ubud, and Monjuk. After a 20-hour journey from Infar involving 3 flights and layovers in Kolkata and Kuala Lumpur, we finally arrived in Bali. Mushun was just over 3 months old and it was his first trip, and hence the first sticker on his passport. Our first impression of Bali was enchanting with cool temperature, lush landscapes and rustic architecture of traditional Balinese homes. Finally, we arrived at our accommodation in Kuta, located on the southern coast of Bali. The place welcomed us with an ecologically rich compound bursting with a vibrant array of flowers and trees. The serene environment was further enhanced by ponds with fishes and lily plants. The compound had a vivid spiritual aura with numerous stupas, statues and stone carvings depicting characters from Hindu mythology. Our cottage was a beautiful example of traditional Balinese architecture featuring intricate woodworks, bamboo crafts and a thatched roof. Even though the cottage was traditional, it had all the modern amenities. The moment we stepped inside, we were enveloped by a sense of calm and tranquility. The fatigue from our long journey melted away, and even little Bhushan seemed instantly refreshed and at ease in this enchanting setting. We enjoyed the perfect blend of Balinese charm and contemporary comfort. The thoughtful design ensured we had everything we needed while still allowing us to immerse ourselves in the island's rich culture. In the evening, despite the lively scene, we opted for a quick dinner and an early night to recover from our journey. The next morning, we explored the nearby Beachwalk shopping center to buy beachwear and hiking shoes in preparation for our upcoming adventures. In the late afternoon, we visited Uluwatu Temple, an iconic Balinese sea temple located on the southwestern tip of the Bukit Peninsula in Bali. Perched majestically on a steep cliff approximately 70 meters above the Indian Ocean, Uluwatu Temple, or Pura Luhur Uluwatu, is renowned for its breathtaking views and spiritual significance. Dating back to the 11th century, Uluwatu Temple is one of Bali's 6 key directional temples believed to protect the island from evil spirits. It is dedicated to Sang Hyang Widhaiwasa in his manifestation as Rudra, the god of storms and the wind. As the sun began to set, painting the sky with hues of orange and pink, we attended the captivating Kecak dance show. Set against the backdrop of the temple and the ocean, the performance was mesmerizing, with rhythmic chanting and dynamic movements bringing to life the epic tales of the Ramayana. The combination of the dramatic sunset, the ancient temple, and the powerful Kecak dance performance made for an unforgettable experience, deeply enriching our understanding of Balinese culture and spirituality. On our way back, we stopped at Jimbaran for a seafood dinner on the beach. The following morning, we embarked on a charming journey to Seminyak by boarding a horse cart. The leisurely ride allowed us to take in the scenic beauty of Bali at a relaxed pace, with the rhythmic clip-clop of the horses' feet adding to the serene ambience. As we traveled, we passed beaches, lush greeneries, and vibrant local markets, offering us a glimpse into the island's daily life and culture. Upon disembarking from the horse cart, we took a leisurely stroll through the vibrant streets of Seminyak. The area was bustling with activity, showcasing an array of stylish boutiques, art galleries, and charming cafes. As we wandered, we briefly passed by a nearby beach. As the weather was cloudy, we headed to a local restaurant for lunch, located inside a compound of flea market. In the afternoon, we had a scheduled tour to visit the Tanah Lot Temple. En route, we made a delightful stop at a small coffee farm nestled beside lush paddy fields.
The Arabica tree. Luwak is the coffee bean. So after luwak is the coffee, they keep in the stomach around 10 hours. And after they poop, that we collect and make processed coffee.
Yep.
And this is the poop from the animal. So the poop will be coming out like this. And for the process, we need to clean first with hot water.
Here, we indulged in a tasting session featuring Luwak coffee, renowned as one of the world's most unique brews. Alongside, we sampled various tea varieties, including Rosella, Mangosteen, and Ginseng, each offering a distinct and refreshing flavor. It was a serene interlude, immersing us in Bali's rich agricultural heritage before continuing our journey to the iconic Tanah Lot Temple. After a scenic 90-minute drive, we arrived at Tanah Lot, one of Bali's most iconic and picturesque landmarks. Perched dramatically on a rocky outcrop surrounded by the crashing waves of the Indian Ocean, Tanah Lot Temple is not only a marvel of ancient architecture, but also holds profound historical and spiritual significance in Balinese culture. Dating back to the 16th century, Tanah Lot Temple is believed to have been founded by the Hindu priest Dang Hyang Naratha during his journey across Bali to spread Hinduism. Legend has it that he arrived at this spot and meditated, feeling a strong spiritual connection to the sea. Over time, the temple complex grew around the sacred site, becoming a focal point for Hindu worship and pilgrimage. As we approached the temple, we were immediately struck by its breathtaking beauty. The silhouette of the ancient shrine against the backdrop of the sunset sky created a mesmerizing sight. We took our time exploring the temple complex, marveling at its intricate architecture and the spiritual atmosphere that enveloped the area. Watching the sun dip below the horizon, casting a golden glow over the temple and the surrounding seascape, was a moment of pure serenity and wonder. It was made even more magical by the rhythmic chants of the Hindu priests and the distant sound of crashing waves. Our visit to Tanah Lot was not only a feast for the senses, but also a journey through Bali's rich history and spiritual traditions. The next day, we dedicated ourselves to unwinding at Kuta Beach, spending the entire day replenishing our energy for the upcoming intensive 3 days in Nusa Penida. We lounged under the warm sun and occasionally dipped into the cool, inviting water. We also indulged in some delicious local snacks from nearby vendors, adding a touch of Balinese flavor to our day.
It has just begun as she puts her hand in mine. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the heart's running wild.
The following day, we departed from Samuel Harbor for Nusa Penida, filled with excitement for the adventures ahead. Upon arrival in Nusa Penida, we headed directly to the Thousand Island viewpoint, eager to take in one of the island's most breathtaking sights. The journey to the viewpoint took us through picturesque landscapes, with lush greenery and rugged terrain setting the scene for the natural beauty we were about to witness. At the Thousand Island viewpoint, we were greeted by a panorama of dramatic cliffs, pristine beaches, and turquoise waters dotted with small rocky islets. The view was nothing short of spectacular, with each island appearing like a gem in the vast expanse of the ocean. We spent time soaking in the stunning scenery, taking photographs, and simply marveling at the untouched beauty of this part of Nusa Penida. From Thousand Island, we made our way to the renowned Diamond Beach, eager to experience its pristine beauty up close. The hike down to the beach was an adventure in itself, with a well-trodden path leading us through breathtaking scenery. The descent offered stunning views of the turquoise waters and dramatic cliffs that make Diamond Beach a must-see destination. As we approached the final stretch of the trail, the path became increasingly challenging. A steep section required navigating with the support of a rope, adding an element of risk. Considering we had little Gushin with us, we decided not to take any chances. Prioritizing safety, we opted to hike back up without reaching the beach itself. While we didn't make it all the way to the sands of Diamond Beach, the journey was still incredibly rewarding. The panoramic views, the sense of adventure, and the rugged beauty of the landscape left us with unforgettable memories. It reminded us that sometimes the journey itself is just as significant as the destination, especially when shared with loved ones. After the little adventure at the Diamond Beach, we checked into our cottage, which was spectacularly suspended over a cliff. The setting was nothing short of magical. The view from our balcony was breathtaking, with Mount Agung majestically rising in the distance. Settling into our cliffside haven, we felt an overwhelming sense of peace and awe at the natural beauty surrounding us. The next day, we started our day early, eager to explore more of Nusa Penida's natural wonders. In the morning, before the sun reached its peak, we made our way to Kelingking Beach. The iconic view of the T-Rex-shaped cliffs took our breath away. Although we didn't hike down to the beach itself, the panoramic view from above was awe-inspiring. After soaking in the beauty of Kelingking Beach, we continued our adventure to Angel's Billabong. This natural infinity pool is nestled between rocky cliffs and is formed by the receding tides, creating a crystal clear lagoon. However, the tide was particularly fierce that day, with waves crashing powerfully against the rocks. While we couldn't take a dip, the dramatic display of nature's power was mesmerizing, and the vibrant colors and unique rock formations made it a perfect spot for photography and relaxation. Just a short walk away from Angel's Billabong, we arrived at Broken Beach, a picturesque cove with a stunning natural archway carved by the relentless sea. The panoramic views of the turquoise waters against the rugged cliffs were simply awe-inspiring. The beach's unique geological features and the endless expanse of ocean create a surreal and peaceful atmosphere. Following our morning explorations, we indulged in a sumptuous meal by the sea, savoring fresh, local dishes while enjoying the soothing sounds of the ocean. The rest of the afternoon was spent in pure relaxation, chilling out at the swimming pool of our cliffside cottage. The infinity pool, seemingly blending with the horizon, provided a perfect spot to unwind and bask in the sun's warm embrace. As the day came to a close, we enjoyed a delicious grilled fish dinner. The following day, in the morning, we embarked on a hike down to Pediangan Waterfall, one of Nusa Penida's hidden gems. The journey to Pediangan began with a steep descent down a series of vibrant blue staircases clinging to the cliffside. The path was narrow and challenging, but the views along the way were absolutely breathtaking, offering sweeping panoramas of the deep blue ocean and rugged coastline. The hike started with the top of the Blue Staircase, known locally as the Blue Stairs, which are both iconic and somewhat intimidating. The stairs are steep and can be slippery, requiring careful attention and a steady grip on the handrails. With little Bhushan with us, we had to be extra careful, ensuring that each step was taken with caution and that we maintained a firm hold on the railings at all times. As we began our descent, we could feel the excitement and anticipation building. Each step took us deeper into the lush, rugged landscape of Nusa Penida. The lush greenery provided a stark contrast to the vibrant blue railings and the deep blues of the ocean. The descent felt like a journey through a natural masterpiece, with each step bringing us closer to the serene and sacred destination below. On the way, we passed by locals on pilgrimage dressed in their traditional attire, carrying their offerings with great reverence. Apart from the locals, we did not encounter any tourists. The stairs were often narrow, requiring us to carefully navigate while holding on to the railings for support. The staircase, with its vibrant blue rails, zigzags down the cliffside, providing intermittent platforms where we pause to catch our breath and take in the breathtaking views. These vantage points offered unparalleled sights of the turquoise waters below and the dramatic cliffs that characterize the island's coastline. The combination of the vivid blue railings against the natural backdrop created a picturesque and almost surreal atmosphere. The descent was steep, with some sections feeling almost vertical, making the hike both exhilarating and demanding. The hike required careful navigation, but each step brought us closer to an extraordinary destination. The sound of waves crashing against the cliffs below served as a constant reminder of the power and majesty of the ocean. As we descended, the combination of physical exertion and awe-inspiring scenery created a thrilling sense of adventure. The hike took us about an hour. Upon reaching the bottom, we were greeted by Pediangan Waterfall, a series of cascading waters flowing into natural pools perched on the edge of the cliffs. The water was refreshingly cool, and we took a moment to soak in the serene atmosphere and stunning surroundings. Adjacent to the waterfall is the sacred Pediangan Temple, also known as Segara Kidul Temple. This temple holds significant spiritual value for the locals who believe it is a place to honor the sea gods and seek blessings. The temple complex includes several shrines and small altars, each adorned with colorful offerings and incense, adding to the spiritual ambience of the location. Pilgrims often visit the temple to perform rituals and offer prayers, making it a place of deep cultural and religious significance. One of the highlights of our visit was the natural infinity pool at the cliff's edge, where the cascading waters of the waterfall flow into a series of rock pools. The path leading to the pool was rugged and challenging, with sections that were steep, slippery, and bordered by sheer cliffs. Each step required careful navigation, and the sound of rushing water from the waterfall served as a constant reminder of the natural forces at play. Despite the risks, I was determined to reach the pool and experience its tranquil waters. As I descended further, the terrain became increasingly treacherous, with moss-covered rocks and uneven surfaces making the journey even more perilous. Finally, after navigating the slippery path with great care, I arrived at the natural infinity pool. Despite the inherent risks involved in reaching this secluded spot, the sense of serenity and tranquility that enveloped me made the journey well worth it. As I dipped my toes into the cool waters of the pool, all thoughts of the challenging hike melted away, replaced by a profound sense of gratitude for the opportunity to experience the beauty of Nusa Penida in all its raw and untouched glory. However, I felt a twinge of intimidation in the presence of the majestic sea, particularly as its forceful waves crashed against the cliff with formidable power. The combination of the challenging hike, the breathtaking views, the spiritual significance of Pegyangan Temple, and the tranquility of the waterfall and natural infinity pool made our visit an unforgettable experience. It was a perfect blend of adventure, culture, and serenity, showcasing the diverse natural beauty and rich heritage that Nusa Penida has to offer. Despite the extra precautions needed with Little Bhushan, the journey was incredibly rewarding, and the memories we created will last a lifetime. Our appetite, sharpened by the treacherous hike, led us to savor an elaborate seafood meal at a leisurely pace, overlooking the turquoise waters of the sea. In the evening, we visited Pura Penataran Pet, the second most important temple in Bali. This temple is a significant site for Balinese Hindus who typically visit at least once in their lifetime, especially before undertaking important endeavors. Initially, we were denied entry as it is generally reserved for locals. However, after insisting that we were Hindu and verifying that Bhushan was at least 3 months old, the priest allowed us to enter. The spiritual ambience and our experience, they were deeply enriching.
So do you think gonna coming back to the hotel now, or you going again to the temple, or going back to the hotel?
The following day, before bidding farewell to the captivating landscapes of Nusa Penida and returning to the main island, we made sure to visit our final destination, Goa Siri Putri Temple.
Story from the old people, the old people, telling this place for hiding place because before we have war, right? War with the Netherlands, with Japan. This place they used for hiding.
Okay.
That's like that. So now they use this one for temple, for praying, for be something like that. So normally people when there will be something, they pray from this place.
Okay.
They get what they want.
I see.
Like that. So that's why so many people come here for pray.
From all over Bali?
Not only Bali, from the other island also coming here,
Okay.
from the other country also.
Okay.
Goa Seri Putri Temple served as a fitting conclusion to our journey to Nusa Penida, reminding us of the sacredness and beauty that exists within the natural world and within ourselves. Arriving at Sanur Harbor, we were greeted by the mesmerizing sight of giant kites soaring gracefully over the sea. From there, we headed to Ubud for the next leg of our journey. Nestled in the heart of Ubud, we found our haven. Despite being situated along the lively street adjacent to the Ubud Palace, our accommodation exuded a sense of seclusion and tranquility. It also featured a pool surrounded by lush greenery. Each cottage, including the one we had booked, provided a distinct retreat with its open-air bathroom inviting a harmonious connection with nature. The next morning, we rose with the sun, eager to start our day. Following a hearty breakfast, we set off for Penglipuran village. Welcome to Penglipuran village, nestled in the highlands of Bangli in Bali, north of Gianyar and around an hour drive from Ubud. Penglipuran is renowned for its well-preserved culture and traditional Balinese architecture. The village's name, Penglipuran, translates to a place to remember or a place for relaxation, aptly reflecting its serene and nostalgic ambience. Penglipuran is regarded as one of the world's cleanest villages. It is 8 a.m. This is a sacred time, a moment when the village comes alive with the rhythmic activities of its residents preparing for their morning prayers. A resident is starting her day by crafting kanang sori, the daily offerings made from palm leaves. Dressed in traditional sarongs and kebayas, she makes her way to one of the many shrines dedicated to deities and ancestors. She sprinkles holy water or tirtha over the offerings, an act of purification. With great reverence, she places the already lighted incense sticks among the offerings. The rising smoke symbolizes their prayers ascending to the gods, creating a sacred atmosphere. Along with incense, these small, intricate baskets are filled with rice and flowers, each component rich with symbolic meaning. Every flower and grain of rice in these offerings has a purpose. The flowers represent the divine and the rice is for sustenance. With hands clasped together, she chants mantras softly. Each prayer is a plea for protection and prosperity. In Penglipuran, the morning prayers are more than a ritual. They are a profound expression of devotion and culture. This daily practice connects the villagers to their ancestors and the divine, preserving the timeless traditions of their heritage. With the spiritual duties fulfilled, she transitions to their daily activities, carrying the blessings and positive energy from the prayers into their everyday lives. The streets of Penglipuran are a testament to the village's commitment to preserving its cultural heritage. The main street, Jalan Desa, is beautifully paved and meticulously cleaned, reflecting the pride the villagers take in their community. Lining the street are traditional Balinese houses, each adorned with ornate gates. These gates, known as Engkul-Engkul, are not just functional but also deeply symbolic, representing protection and hospitality. The architectural style of the houses in Penglipuran is distinct and uniform, maintaining a cohesive aesthetic that enhances the village's charm. There are numerous carvings and statues that add to the village's enchanting atmosphere. Guardian statues, known as Dwapala, stand vigil at entrances, their fierce expressions warding off evil spirits.
Bali Sakranam, we call Bali Sakranam, and we have a kitchen traditional.
Okay.
And this one we call Bali. In Bali. So it's okay. When we have a ceremony in family, like married, we use this one.
Okay.
And before to make this, I use traditional kitchen.
Oh, this is a traditional kitchen.
Yeah. And that another one. This is family temple.
Okay.
In Balinese culture, family temples, known as Marajon or Sangha, are integral to daily life. Each family has its own temple within their compound, a space dedicated to worshipping ancestors and the gods. These temples are beautifully adorned with intricate carvings, statues, and shrines. Most houses are adorned with lush greenery featuring a variety of exotic plants and vibrant flowers. Carefully tended gardens spill over with tropical flora such as hibiscus and frangipani, creating a picturesque and serene environment. These green spaces not only enhance the beauty of the village, but also reflect the villagers' deep connection to nature and their commitment to maintaining a harmonious balance between their living spaces and the natural world. Exotic animals are also often kept in cages and livestock roam freely in the family compounds. Natural materials like bamboo, wood, and thatch are often used to construct houses, blending seamlessly with the environment. The houses are adorned with intricate woodwork, often depicting characters from Hindu mythology. These detailed carvings showcase the village's exceptional craftsmanship and their deep cultural and spiritual heritage, bringing stories of gods, heroes, and ancient epics to life on walls, ceilings, doors, and windows. Overall, there is a perfect harmony among spirituality, craftsmanship, lush greenery, and daily life within their family compounds. This balance creates a serene and vibrant atmosphere where each element complements the others, reflecting the village's holistic approach to living. While the houses may appear similar from a distance, a closer look reveals unique differences in craftsmanship. Each home features distinct carvings, intricate designs, and personalized details that reflect the individuality and artistic expression of its inhabitants. For many inhabitants, their houses also serve as sources of income, functioning as shops and cafes, blending home life with entrepreneurship. And women play a major role in managing these businesses. Indeed, Bali has a history deeply intertwined with the contributions of its women. Beyond economic endeavors, Balinese women actively participate in preserving and promoting their rich cultural heritage. It is very interesting that their houses are fascinatingly multifunctional: a roof to live, a temple to worship, an outlet to earn living, and an art for tourists to marvel. Penglipuran's history dates back to the 16th century during the reign of the Bengali kingdom. It was established as a sanctuary for soldiers and their families. Today, Penglipuran stands as a testament to the resilience and cultural richness of its people, preserving its historical roots while adapting to modern influences. By 10 a.m., tourists start flooding into the village. The influx of visitors brings a lively energy. The tourists primarily concentrate at the heart of Penglipuran village, where Pura Desa lies. Pura Desa is the central temple where villagers gather for important religious ceremonies and communal rituals. The temple's architecture is a stunning example of traditional Balinese design, with intricately carved stonework and beautifully decorated shrines. Pura Desa not only serves as a spiritual cornerstone, but also reinforces the village's cultural heritage, fostering a deep sense of unity and continuity among its residents. One striking feature of Penglipuran is its impeccable cleanliness and organized layout. The village is divided into three main zones: the burial grounds, the sacred zone for temples, and the residential zone. While most tourists concentrate in the temple zone, the ones who want to interact with the inhabitants spend most of their time in the residential zone. The people of Penglipuran are warm and welcoming. They take pride in their heritage and are eager to share their customs with visitors. The best place to experience their hospitality are warungs. Warungs are a small family-owned restaurant where the authentic flavors of Balinese cuisine are lovingly crafted directly in the residents' own personal kitchen.
Nasi? Do you have rice? Nasi?
Warungs are the perfect place to savor the rich flavors of Balinese cuisine while immersing oneself in the local customs and marveling at the villagers' craftsmanship. These family-owned establishments offer an authentic dining experience that highlights the vibrant culture and culinary heritage of Penglipuran. Leaving the quaint beauty of Penglipuran village behind, we embarked on a journey to Phuket Chepung Waterfall, our favorite waterfall in Bali. A brief, albeit steep, 10-minute hike brought us to the floor of a picturesque valley. Here, we traversed a narrow passage flanked by towering cliffs, its sandy riverbed guiding our way. As we pressed forward through the final stretch, winding between ancient rock formations, a breathtaking sight awaited us. Emerging from the shadows of the rocky enclave, we found ourselves standing beneath an open dome, the cascading waters of Phuket Chepung Waterfall greeting us with their majestic presence. Encircled by towering cliffs that mimic the embrace of a natural cave, we were enveloped in a sense of awe and wonder. Yet, the sky above remained wide open, framing the waterfall in a mesmerizing tableau of nature's beauty. It was a moment of pure enchantment, a perfect fusion of earth and sky, and an experience we would forever treasure. As evening descended, we made our way to the Ubud Palace, eager to witness the captivating Legong dance show, a renowned royal court performance that epitomizes Bali's cultural richness. The Ubud Palace, also known as Puri Sarain Agung, stands as a symbol of Ubud's rich heritage and royal legacy. Upon arrival, the courtyard was laid out with traditional Balinese musical instruments, including the gamelan, gong, gengong, and greenbik. Built in the 19th century, the palace served as the residence of the Ubud royal family, who were influential patrons of the arts and culture. The Legong performance unfolded in 9 captivating segments. It commenced with an evocative introduction showcasing the dynamic rhythms of gamelan music. Following this, a welcoming dance unfolded, portraying the jubilant reception of the divine during temple festivals. Subsequently, a traditional Balinese warrior dance took center stage, exalting the valor and honor of the island's heroic figures. Next was a classical dance staged in the royal courtyard to please the king. An instrumental in the Sema Peliligan mood presented to the king when he is resting. Next dance expresses the transitional mood experienced by any youth in Balinese life. The movement expresses enthusiastic energy of youth. The Bumblebee dance is a traditional Balinese love story. It is performed by two dancers. One is a boy bee and one is a girl bee who fall in love in a beautiful romantic flower garden. It symbolizes the courtship rituals of two Balinese in love. The rough and brutish nature of an old man is portrayed in this masked dance, followed by the closing instrumental music. The following day, I embarked on a solo hike to Mount Batur, a decision made at the last moment after initially planning to trek with my wife and Bhushan. The adventure began in the pre-dawn hours, with our guide arriving promptly at 2:30 a.m. to whisk me away to Kintamani, the gateway to Mount Batur. As I traversed the trail alone, I couldn't help but feel relieved, especially upon encountering the loose, gravelly terrain that posed a challenge for many trekkers. Despite the darkness, anticipation fueled my steps as we commenced the ascent. The trail, though steep in places and fraught with loose earth, proved manageable, albeit with its share of challenges. After an hour and a half of hiking, we reached the summit, greeted by a chilly breeze despite the summer season. At 13 degrees Celsius, the cool air enveloped us as we eagerly awaited the sunrise, a moment made even more special by the opportunity to steam eggs and bananas in the volcano's geothermal vents. Even though the last volcanic eruption on Mount Batur was in 2000, the geothermic activity could still be felt and seen in the forms of fumaroles and steams. The experience was quite unique. As dawn approached, uncertainty lingered regarding the visibility of the sunrise amidst the clouds and fog. The guide mentioned that more than very often people go back without actually seeing the sunrise if it is too cloudy. Yet, as the first rays pierced the horizon at around 5:55 a.m., illuminating the landscape in hues of red and orange, any doubts faded away. The sun was still behind the clouds, but the vista of Batur Lake, Mount Agung, and the surrounding panorama unfolded before us, a breathtaking display of nature's beauty. Then finally, we had the privilege of looking at the sun rising out of the fogs. One of my friends asked me if he should do this trek during his trip in Bali. I would say the Mount Batur sunrise trek is definitely worth it because I would have missed the mysterious interplay of the sun rays, fogs and clouds resulting into the breathtaking shades of red. I would have missed the vista of the fog rising up the Batur Lake to the mountains and the fuzzy view of the ocean behind the mountain range as the fogs clear up. The descent, marked by engaging conversations with the guide about cultural similarities between Balinese customs and those of my homeland in Manipur, India, passed swiftly. The descent took only an hour. To soothe my weary muscles, I indulged in a rejuvenating soak at the Batur Natural Hot Spring, marveling at the serenity of Batur Lake as I reflected on the unforgettable journey up Mount Batur. In the evening, we had a holistic experience of the Balinese cuisine at the Dapua Raja restaurant at Jalan Hanuman at the heart of Ubud.
May we replace your soup first? First is a Jupiter Ares, it's a young banana stick, young fruit, and also have a pork inside. First one, sir, I explain your food first. This one is called yellow steamed rice. In Balinese we call it nasi bira. Then for this one is a barbecue pork ribs. In Balinese we call it iga babi. And then for this one is a roasting duck. In Balinese we call it bebek petutu. And then for this one is a suckling pig. In Balinese we call it babi guling. And then for this one is a sweet tofu and soya bean. In Balinese we call it abu and tempe manis. And then for this one is a mixed vegetables. In Balinese we call it urap. And then for the last one is a chopped tuna and we wrap it with banana leaf. In Balinese we call it pepes. And then for the Balinese wastafel, we also have served with satay. May I take the satay now?
Yep.
For the Balinese wastafel, we serve with 4 kinds of satay. The first one is a quail egg satay, for this one. And for the next one is the chicken satay. For this one is a tuna satay. For the steak, we using lemongrass for the more nice smell. And then for the last one is a soya bean satay. Biasanya.
Thank you.
On our third day in Ubud, we took a brief visit to a rice field before heading to Tirta Empul. Located 14 kilometers north of Ubud, Pura Tirta Empul is water temple dedicated to the god Vishnu. Tirta Empul means holy spring. Balinese Hindus purify themselves in this holy spring to cleanse their souls and ward off evil spirits. This tradition still continues today almost unchanged. In the purification courtyard, there are 3 pools. The ritual, known as Merukat, involved moving from one spout to the next, each representing a different deity and offering a unique blessing. The main function of the first pool, Tirta Pebir Sihan, is to relieve suffering from poverty, eliminate enemies, seek fortune, and clean the sins for crime we have done. After the first pool, we must proceed to the second pool, Tirta Pelabur Kuchukan Dan Sumpa. The main function for this pool is to remove the curse of parents, ancestors, and gods. The third pool is called Tirta Penyakit Berat Dan Tirta Upakara. The main function of this pool is to cure severe illness. Honestly, by the time I reached the final spout, I felt a profound sense of peace and renewal. The process was meditative and deeply personal, allowing me to reflect on my journey and aspirations. After the spiritual cleansing, we continued our journey to the most significant temple in Bali, Pura Besiki, also known as the Mother Temple of Bali. This ancient and revered complex is situated along the southwestern slopes of Mount Agung. Pura Besiki is not just one temple, but a sprawling complex of over 80 clan temples and shrines, each with its own unique significance and purpose.
And the one many structures on the front, the middle. In Bali we call it Dwara Pala. Dwara Pala symbol. Dwara the main 2, Pala for keeper, guardian for temple. We call it Purawa and Kundawa. Purawa and Kundawa symbol for balance. Symbol bad character for good character. Maybe example like a Chinese yin and yang. Yes. This is the main temple. The main part. Another color symbol for Siwa Raditi. Siwa symbol for the wind. So now maybe you have business, you have for good job, maybe you can praying, meditation in the body for good job. You call for Siwa. Call it Trinity symbol. Trinity symbol 3 element. The red color umbrella symbol for Brahma God, white and yellow for Shiva, the black one symbol for Vishnu God. And 11 the highest symbol for mountain, 11 rope. And 9 rope in Bali symbol for Dewa Nawasanga. Dewa the main god Sanga for 9 direction. 7 rope in Bali symbol for Saptaloka. Sapta the main 7 loka for reincarnation symbol. And 5 symbol for Pancha Dewa. Pancha the main 5 Dewa different the main god. And then Brahma, Shiva, Vishnu, Maheswara, and Dewa Mahadewa. Over the position, Brahma position in the short, Vishnu north, Dewa Mahadewa west, and Shiva on the middle, yeah, Maheswara east position, yeah, 5 direction. And 3 roof our building, we call it Meru, yeah, 3 roof, symbol for Shiva, Sadasiva, and Pramashiva. Shiva down, Sadasiva up, and Pramashiva top. And 1 roof in Bali symbol for Sangyang Tunggal. Sangyang the main god, Tunggal only one supreme god in Bali. We call it Sangyang Widi. Sangyang Widi only one supreme God, the highest God. Maybe like a Trinity, fire, wind, and water, three element. Example like a assistant, yeah, for Sangyang Widi. Example manifestation Sangyang Widi. Like this one, our rope symbol. Siwa temple, because Siwa temple, the main temple from down there until here 7 level. This is the last level. And then over there many tower. Yes, a building. We call it Mahameru, yeah. And then inside symbol for family temple. Family temple from the king family.
The panoramic views from the temple were breathtaking, with the lush greenery of the surrounding landscape. The temple's elevated location provided a sense of being closer to the divine, enhancing the spiritual experience. Pura Basiki's history dates back over 1,000 years, making it one of the oldest temples in Bali. The temple is believed to have been founded in the 8th century by the Hindu sage Markandeya.
This is the after cremation, so what the people bring the opening the symbolize soul, yeah, symbolize soul, finish cremation in the village. Next, finish cremation in the village, 2 LFS to go, and now all family coming for praying, meditation, for get some holy water. Yeah?
On our last day in Ubud, we woke up to an elaborate breakfast inside the pool in our new accommodation. Bali is famous for these floating breakfasts, and it was a great experience in itself. We booked this entire place just to relax and unwind, to recharge our energy level for the third leg of our journey in Moonduk in the northern hilly region of the islands. Nestled at a quieter part of Ubud, surrounded by rice terraces, the compound was heavily planted with tropical plants. It had a huge courtyard featuring a large swimming pool. The villa itself has 3 floors, including the ground floor. The ground floor includes an open kitchen, the dining area, and a bedroom where we settled ourselves. And the bathroom had a bathtub which somehow seemed to be well intertwined with the nature. The first floor included a bedroom with a view of the swimming pool and included its own kitchen and living area. We obviously didn't use this floor. And the second floor featured another bedroom and a terrace with a great view of the rustic roofs of the traditional Balinese houses. After the breakfast, we took a leisurely walk to the Kampuhan Ridge Walk. With appetite sharpened by the walk, we headed to a supermarket to buy our bounties for lunch. We bought some meats, shrimps, some Balinese curry paste, fruits, and few beers. I assisted my wife in the kitchen in preparing the elaborate meal. I helped clean the shrimps. And I prepared the shrimp and enoki stew in Balinese paste. And my wife prepared the spicy chicken gizzard and fried pork strips. But I also took sufficient time to relax in the swimming pool and enjoy the beer while waiting for the meal to be done.
We began to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals they take us higher. The night's young and it's just begun. As she puts her hand in mine, we wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light.
After the heavy meal, we took long afternoon naps and relaxed the rest of the afternoon in the pool. The next day, we set off for Moonduke, a hilly region known for its concentration of stunning waterfalls. However, on our way, we made a significant stop at Ulun Danyu Bairotan Temple. This iconic temple, situated on the shores of Lake Bairotan in Belitung, is one of Bali's most picturesque and important water temples. We were greeted by the serene beauty of the lake, its calm waters reflecting the surrounding mountains and the temple's striking silhouette. The temple, dedicated to Dewi Danyu, the goddess of water, lakes and rivers, is a crucial site for Balinese Hindus who rely on the lake for irrigation and agriculture. After spending a tranquil morning at Ulun Danyu Bairotan Temple, we continued our journey to Moonduke, eager to explore the region's famous waterfalls and lush landscapes. Upon arrival, we checked into our charming cottage beside the pool. The cottage featured a balcony with a tranquil view of the hills dotted with vibrant orange plants. This serene environment, with its lush greenery and the gentle rustling of leaves, provided the perfect retreat for relaxation and rejuvenation. As the day came to a close, the sunset cast breathtaking orange hues across the sky, enhancing the beauty of the landscape. The serene environment, with its lush greenery and the gentle rustling of leaves, provided the perfect retreat for relaxation and rejuvenation. The following day, we were served our breakfast at the balcony. We enjoyed a hearty breakfast in preparation for the strenuous hikes covering multiple waterfalls. From our villa, we hired 2 bikes to go straight to the Moonduke waterfall trek. They dropped us right at the waterfall parking. After a short hike of 15 minutes, we arrived at the Red Coral Waterfall, which is a narrow waterfall that streams down between the hillside rocks with greenery surrounding it in all directions. From the Red Coral Waterfall, we hiked another 30 minutes through the jungle and 10 minutes of stairs down the slopes to arrive at the Lebu Han Cable Waterfall. At the bottom of the valley, we were welcomed to the waterfall out in the distance with a couple of bamboo bridges. The stream forms into a pool before running further down the valley. A steep downhill hike from Lebu Han Cable Waterfall through clove plantations for an hour and another 10 minutes hike down a steep staircase took us to the Langan Melanting Waterfall. Melanting is located in a very pristine, picturesque valley circled by green slopes. We enjoyed the view, relaxed well, and prepared for the strenuous hike back up through the stairs. After almost 5 hours of hike carrying little Bhushan through different terrains, we satiated our hunger by having a delicious meal at a local warung. We rested at our place the rest of the afternoon. In the evening, we sat by a cozy fire to enjoy our dinner. The warmth of the fire complemented the cool mountain air, creating a perfect ambience for our meal. The next day, we went to the tallest waterfall in Bali. After an hour drive from our villa in Moonduke, we arrived at the Sekumpul and Fiji waterfall. There were some scam registration points along the way, but we just drove directly to the waterfall. Sekumpul is the tallest waterfall in Bali. The height of Sekompul waterfall is around 80 meters. I eagerly took a dip inside the natural pool. It was very refreshing despite the rocky floor. Just 5 minutes walk from the Sekompul waterfall is the Sikut waterfall, which is quite furious in nature. Another 15 minutes walk from the Sikut waterfall through streams took us to the Fiji waterfall. Sekompul and Fiji waterfall was our second favorite waterfall in Bali. In the evening, we enjoyed our pre-ordered ayam betutu, a traditional Balinese dish of spiced, slow-cooked chicken wrapped in banana leaves. On our last day in Bali, we booked a charming tree house nestled by a serene stream. The setting was idyllic, offering a perfect retreat to relax and unwind as we prepared for the long journey back home. The sound of the flowing stream below provided a soothing backdrop, complementing the gentle rustling of leaves and the distant calls of birds. On the ground floor, we had a kitchen, a dining table set beside the stream, and a bathroom, all designed to blend seamlessly with the natural surroundings. A twirling wooden staircase led us to the upper floor, where our bedroom was located. The air was fresh and filled with the earthy scent of the forest, enhancing the sense of peace and relaxation. There was a separate outdoor bed on the balcony, perfect for lounging and soaking in the tranquil atmosphere. This space became our favorite spot to relax, offering breathtaking views of the lush greenery and surrounding mountains. The tree house, crafted with wood and thatch and supported by a giant tree, was perfectly intertwined with the natural environment, creating a harmonious blend of comfort and rustic charm. Adjacent to this lounging area was our cozy bedroom, featuring large windows that provided stunning views of the surrounding nature. The tree house itself was a delightful blend of rustic charm and comfort. Looking from the balcony, I realized that we were enclaved by majestic mountains and dense forests. We spent the entire day resting, soaking in the tranquility of the natural surroundings. Throughout the day, we were visited by some unexpected guests from the local wildlife. A snake, basking in the last rays of the day's sun, made a brief appearance, adding a touch of excitement to our serene environment. Despite the occasional heart-pounding moments, our last day in Bali was a perfect blend of relaxation and adventure, leaving us with unforgettable memories of our time in this beautiful paradise. While Bali offers an abundance of natural beauty, adventure, history, culture, and culinary delights, what stood out the most for us was the spiritual experience. With my energy recharged, mind refreshed, and spirit uplifted, I headed back home and immediately jumped into the 2 consulting projects awaiting me.